Did you know that 75% of people admit to avoiding tough conversations at work, even when they know they're necessary? That's right, most employees, including managers, shy away from those difficult talks, hoping the problem will just go away. But here's the shocking truth: avoiding tough conversations actually makes things worse. In fact, ignoring issues leads to 50% more conflicts and lower team productivity. So, why do we avoid them? It's the fear of confrontation, stress, and the uncertainty of what might happen. But what if handling these conversations could actually boost your career? Imagine turning those uncomfortable moments into chances to shine, grow, and build stronger relationships. In this video, you'll learn how to tackle tough talks with confidence, calm, and strategy, no more shying away. Get ready for some surprising tips and proven techniques that will change the way you approach those tricky workplace moments. Stay tuned. Chapter 1: Mastering the Art of Professional Discomfort. Navigating tough conversations at work often feels like walking through a minefield. It's uncomfortable, and the stakes are high. But here's the truth: tough conversations are unavoidable. According to a study by Harvard Business Review, 70% of managers avoid difficult conversations, which only leads to bigger issues later on. The key is to embrace discomfort and understand that it's part of growth. When you reframe these moments as opportunities, you can face them with confidence. The trick is to stay calm. Before diving into a tough conversation, take a few deep breaths. Calmness isn't just for you, it helps the other person feel more at ease too. If you keep your body language open and your tone neutral, you'll immediately set a collaborative tone. Remember, discomfort is temporary, but the outcomes can lead to stronger relationships and respect. Chapter 2: The Power of Emotional Intelligence in Uncharted Waters. Emotional intelligence, EQ, is the secret weapon in tough conversations. It's the ability to recognize and manage your own emotions while understanding the emotions of others. Research from TalentSmart shows that EQ makes up 58% of a person's job performance, meaning it's vital for handling sensitive topics. Start by listening actively. Avoid interrupting or forming responses while the other person is speaking. Instead, let them finish and give yourself time to process their words. Reflect back what you've heard to show that you're engaged and empathetic. For example, you might say, "I hear you feel frustrated because." This simple technique lets the other person know you're not just hearing words, you're understanding feelings. Also, stay aware of your body language. Crossed arms or a defensive posture can send the wrong message. Practice emotional regulation. When emotions are high, take a step back, breathe, and remind yourself of the bigger picture. This helps you stay focused and keep the conversation on track. Chapter 3: Silence is golden. When to hold your tongue. It might sound counterintuitive, but sometimes saying nothing is the best option. In tough conversations, silence can be powerful. When emotions are running high, silence gives both you and the other person time to cool off and think. Studies show that taking a pause before responding increases the likelihood of a more thoughtful, measured reply. One of the most effective ways to use silence is by allowing the other person to fill the gap. They might offer more information or even reconsider their position. The most important thing in communication is hearing what isn't said, says Peter Drucker, a management consultant. This is particularly true in emotionally charged conversations. The silence you use isn't about avoiding the conversation, it's about creating space for the other person to reflect, and it shows you're listening. Moreover, staying silent can prevent you from making emotional or knee-jerk reactions that could escalate the conversation further. If you're finding these tips helpful, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Don't miss out on more valuable strategies to level up your career. Chapter 4: Navigating the Landmines, Handling Sensitive Topics with Tact. Every workplace has sensitive topics that are often avoided for fear of conflict. Whether it's feedback on someone's performance or a disagreement about a project, these conversations can make or break relationships. The trick is tact. A good approach is to frame your points positively. Start by acknowledging something the other person did well before addressing the issue at hand. This sandwich method helps soften the message and ensures you're not coming across as overly critical. Research by Gallup shows that employees who receive feedback are 3.6 times more likely to be engaged at work. So, give feedback often and make it constructive. Another strategy is to focus on the issue, not the person. Instead of saying, "You're not doing enough," say, "I've noticed that the project deadlines are being missed, and here's how we can improve." This shift from personal to task-oriented can diffuse tension. And remember, it's not just about the words you say but how you say them. A calm, respectful tone goes a long way. Chapter 5, From Conflict to Collaboration. Turning tension into opportunity. Conflict doesn't always have to mean division. It can be a chance to collaborate and find better solutions. The key is to shift your mindset. Rather than viewing the conversation as a battle, consider it a joint problem-solving session. In a study by the Harvard Negotiation Project, it was found that when people approach conflicts with the goal of solving a problem, rather than winning, the results are far more productive. Start by acknowledging the tension. Simply saying, "I can tell this is a sensitive issue for both of us," can ease the other person's defensiveness. Next, invite the other person to share their perspective. This shows respect and opens the door for collaboration. As you move through the conversation, keep reminding yourself that you're not opposing one another, you're working together toward a solution. This collaborative approach often results in a more positive outcome than either party expected. The key is to be flexible and stay focused on the end goal, resolving the issue while maintaining a good working relationship. Chapter 6, Post-Convo Power. What to do after the tough talk. The conversation might be over, but the impact doesn't stop there. How you follow up can be just as important as how you handled the conversation itself. Sending a follow-up email is a simple yet powerful way to reinforce the key points discussed. This also shows that you're committed to moving forward and ensuring mutual understanding. For example, you might summarize the main points, express appreciation for the person's openness, and outline next steps. A study from McKinsey found that companies that follow up with regular feedback and action are 30% more likely to see sustained improvements in employee performance. Also, take a moment to reflect on your own performance after a tough conversation. Did you keep your emotions in check? Was your message clear? Self-reflection helps you improve your communication skills for the next challenging conversation. Moreover, make sure any commitments made during the conversation are followed through on. This builds trust and credibility. Finally, continue fostering an open and supportive relationship with the person involved. Tough conversations may be uncomfortable, but they can also strengthen your professional relationships when handled well. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips on career advancement and workplace success.